David Ellis never meant to leave his office that Thursday afternoon, but something strange had been happening to him for months now, something beyond logic. It began subtly, a scent, a forgotten melody, an emotion he couldn't place. But then came the first jump. He'd been sitting at his desk, looking out at the grey skyline, when he thought about the old stone tower he visited with his mother as a child in northern Italy. It wasn't a vivid thought, just a flicker. Yet within seconds, he was no longer in Manhattan. He stood at the base of that very tower, smelling pine and smoke in the cold alpine air. He panicked, stumbled back, and the next moment he was home in bed, drenched in sweat. He tried to ignore it, but it kept happening. Whenever he felt something deeply, nostalgia, longing, grief, his body responded by throwing him into the scene behind the emotion, like a needle skipping to the place etched into his soul. He didn't talk about it. Who would believe that your emotions could move your body through space? One night, unable to sleep, he searched the web for anything related to conscious teleportation or mind movement. Most results were junk, but one name kept popping up: Neville Goddard, a mid-century mystic who claimed the world was imagination, who taught that if you assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled and lived in it, it must externalize, that you didn't move through space, states of consciousness did. David devoured his lectures. He read about Abdullah, the mysterious Ethiopian teacher who told Neville, "You are already in Barbados," and refused to let him doubt it. It struck him like thunder. He wasn't randomly jumping. He was being pulled to the states he emotionally embodied. The tower again. It was after a particularly stressful day when it happened again. He sat with his eyes closed and whispered to himself. Open quote, "I remember standing at the top of the tower. I feel the stone under my hand, the cold wind. I am there," close quote. And without force, just a deep acceptance, it came. Not a flash, not an explosion, just a subtle shift, like falling into the memory. Suddenly he was there, not as a child, as he was now. Looking over the valley, mist curling between the hills. His mother was gone now, but in this scene he felt her warmth again. And this time, he didn't fight it. He walked, explored, even spoke to a man in the village. It lasted minutes, or maybe hours. When he returned, it was morning, but he felt transformed. The realization. David began living differently. He no longer tried to change the outer world. He would rise early, close his eyes, and enter the state of the man who had what he desired. He would imagine reading emails from clients he hadn't met yet, running a design firm with his name on the wall, hugging a daughter who didn't exist in his current life, sitting in a villa in Spain, watching the sea. He didn't wish for these things. He assumed them. He lived in the memory of a future that hadn't happened yet. And as days passed, the world reshaped around him. New clients came from unexpected places. He found money in an old investment he forgot about. He met a woman at a bookstore who spoke of Italy, and art, and towers. 1 year later, David stood once more at the top of the tower, but this time with his wife. Their daughter played below with the village kids. The scene was surreal, and yet it felt like it had always been this way. Because in truth, it had. He had lived here 1,000 times in imagination, and reality simply caught up. Final line. You don't chase the world, you move inward, and the world follows.